Hey guys, so in this video, it's Lang here, and we're going to be talking about something that's I wanted to talk about for a while now, and it's about the two stories or the two sides of medicine. And right here, I have kind of a couple of browser windows open that will pertain to it, but hear me out, okay? So throughout time, there has been two opposing points of view when it comes to maintaining good health and improving your health if you've deteriorated your own health, right? And it's not new. Some people nowadays call it, naturopathic medicine or natural remedies versus modern medicine. Some people say it's a West versus East thing, Chinese traditional medicine or Chinese traditional natural therapy versus Western modernized medicine. In fact, it's actually not new, and these two points of view have been around for quite some time. Okay? What it basically comes down to is that one side believes that good health is the result of outside intervention, outside intrusion, okay? For example, drugs, surgery, right? And the other side says or believes that good health is the result from living in harmony with nature, having correct nutrition, being very cleanliness, right? And as you can see, the ancient Greeks, right, they had two groups of people who kind of believed these kind of philosophies, right? One was under a god called Asclepios, right? As you can see here, the definition is that he was a god of medicine, right? And he was the reputed ancestor of Asclepiades, the ancient Greek doctors' guild, okay? And basically what he was proposing, this god to the Greeks, was, intervention is good. It will make you healthy again, right? And then on the other hand, we have Hygeia, who is the goddess of good health, right? Her point of view was for people to live in harmony with nature. So this modern medicine versus naturopathic medicine or natural remedy or just basically preventing, right? It's not a new theme. It's been going on for a while now, okay? Now, modern medicine right now is kind of like Asclepios, right? In recent years, the Hygeian approach has been more in tune with, I guess, the Chinese traditional medicine, which has slowly started to gain more traction nowadays with more research being done and stuff like that. But when it comes to modern medicine, it's more of a, you have a problem, we'll treat the side effect, While the Hygeian approach is more of, it wants you to have more increased awareness of the medical industry and how it's highly influenced by drug companies, and that there's actually more and cheaper ways to be healthy, instead of taking a specific kind of drug, It also promotes that personal health is a personal responsibility, right? You can't just put the responsibility on your doctor, right, who is most of the time overworked. And another thing is to prevent, it's hard to explain. It's when you go to a hospital, you could actually get sick from a totally unrelated problem that you came into the hospital for in the first place. This we'll talk about in another video. Okay? And, there are benefits to modern medicine, as there are benefits to, the natural remedies, and the hygiene approach to health, right? So, let's talk about an example. I have a friend who had a friend who passed away at the age of 40 years old. He was very healthy. He was very fit. He was not overweight at all. He did everything right. He ate well. He wasn't a smoker. He didn't drink a lot. And he never got sick. And you would probably assume that he would live, forever, right? Well, he died. He passed away at the age of 40. Now, what happened? Well, he was at the cottage and he saw a bunch of, I guess, teenagers. They were water skiing, and he was like, oh, look at these kids, they're pretty good. So he wanted to show them off, right? So he, being the competitive person that he was, he waited for them to finish, and then he got down and went to the waters. And basically he said, I'll show you guys how I did it, okay? And those were the last words that he said. He died basically instantly. He had a stroke. He had a major heart attack, right? And he couldn't recover from it. It was a major, major tragedy. It was really sad. But the thing is, these tragedies can be avoided. With modern medicine, it's good because it can, take out these predictive measures or predictive components and be like, okay, if we test your blood, we'll be able to find out what you might be, might have, and prevent like a major heart attack from actually happening. Okay, so diagnosis is important. Modern medicine is very good with that. Because we have the technology for measuring all the predictors that indicate what risk you have for such an event. Either it's a stroke, a heart failure, and there's thousands of people every day who don't go and get a blood checkup. So what should you do? Okay, like I've said before, you should get your blood tested. And we're probably asking, well, what should you get your blood tested for? Well, the major ones are plasma glucose, renal function, liver function, lipoproteins, homeostasis, triglycerides, and cholesterol, both the LDL and the HDL, okay? Now, if you're a man and you're over the age of 40, I also suggest that you might probably want to get a prostate-specific antigen, test. Now, this is for your prostate. You probably heard it in commercials, and getting your prostate checked is really important. You should do that because it's the #1 cause that causes men over 40 to pass away, and it's really sad because it can be prevented. Now, getting the diagnosis is good, and if there are any potential problems, then this is where I guess the Asclepios and versus the hygiene schools of thought kind of collide and have different viewpoints. So, for example, let's say that you get your blood test back and your cholesterol is kind of out of whack, It's maybe it's too high, And the first thing that your doctor probably would say, actually my doctor actually had said that when I had high cholesterol, was that I should start eating less high cholesterol foods. And what I've learned is that it's unlikely that's going to help, because most of the cholesterol that you have in your blood is not from your diet. So you'll probably, go back and to your doctor, and you'll still have high cholesterol even though you've not been eating any high cholesterol foods, and your doctor would most commonly prescribe a drug or drugs known as statins. Now these statin drugs, they basically lower your cholesterol by blocking an enzyme in your liver, right? This enzyme in your liver is needed to manufacture cholesterol, and in fact, up to 80% of your blood cholesterol is manufactured by your liver, okay, and not by eating high cholesterol foods. Now, these statin drugs, they work very well because they block the enzyme, but they have serious problems. It's really funny, but you can actually die from taking statin drugs. And it's very serious, so it's yeah, not good. So that's the Asclepian approach to fixing your high cholesterol, right? And it just doesn't apply to high cholesterol. It could apply to like inflammation. If you have inflammation in your joints, and you do the regular things and the inflammation doesn't go away, so then your doctor prescribes you a drug. And the thing with that, though, is that it's treating the symptom and it's not treating the actual cause, right? So the actual cause of high cholesterol could be a number of things, right? And with, why try statin drugs when there's, alternatives to, decreasing your cholesterol that don't have the side effect of being death, okay? So basically what it comes down to is that pharmaceutical drugs are blockers. They block things in the body, enzymes that does this or does that, whereas natural remedies and natural pathic solutions are more of enablers. They help your body to develop its own kind of health and increase its own productivity. Okay, the thing with pharmaceutical drugs is they're often instant, and that's why they're very powerful, because they work immediately, while natural remedies oftentimes would take weeks or months in order for you to see an overall improvement, right? Now there's always a place for modern medicine, right? And drugs are very, very helpful, in cases of life-threatening emergencies, right? And they'll help you stay alive. But with natural products such as herbs and vitamins or minerals, right? If you have a mineral deficiency, right, is that they won't work immediately, but they'll work by going to the root cause of the problem, which is most of the time a nutrient deficiency with our modern day diet, and how it's lacking nutrients, right? Now, always, if you have a serious problem, work with your physician to try to correct it. But the caveat here is try to use natural remedies if possible. Now, if your doctor is not familiar or is not very for natural remedies because he thinks it's a wrap, then always do your own research, because it's your health and you're personally responsible for it. I think sometimes in our modern day society, we as a society kind of and as individuals sometimes push the responsibilities of things that are important to us to other people, whether it comes to money, people blaming the government, even though there are certain things that the government can do, right? With health too, blaming the doctors, or not, I wouldn't say blaming, but more putting like, the doctor said I should do this, so that's what I'm gonna do. Maybe you should do some more research, your own personal research, read some books on the problems, like what have other people have done, talk to other people who actually had it before and what they did to get better, you know. Yeah, so that's it for this video. Hopefully it wasn't too long for you guys. The next video will be probably more on the same kind of lines, where I'll have like slides here. I was supposed to actually click on this when the ski video was happening, but and the doctor thing. But yeah, that's it for this video. Hope you guys have a wonderful week, and always be healthy and fit. And that's it. This has been Lang from beinghealthyandfit.com.